He's on mute.
Muted.
Everybody on. It's all good, man. My day was great though. Busy. That's all I gotta say. And here we are. But just to give everybody just a quick overview before I go into official introductions. Reason why I wanted to put this on in partnership with the AI wizard, David West, is because we know that AI is this new big thing. It still scares people, although they know that they have to use it to learn how they can integrate it into their business infrastructure, whatever that may be, or learn the skills around it to secure a role at a company and become their AI solutions architect, whatever it may be, in their specific industry. So we're here to demystify or show the wizard behind the mask of AI and show you how you can be that for yourself too. So this is just one of the series of workshops that will be coming under In the Ecosystem with Mike. We'll be talking with other subject matter experts that have expertise to help you build, grow, and scale your business. So for those who are here and willing to come off of mute and speak, what brings you in the room today?
Hey, I'm Sashana. I decided to join because I'm in the financial services industry, and it's one of the slowest industries to implement anything new because of regulations, and it's so heavily regulated. But now, they're getting a bit more lenient with using AI with client interactions. So as I continue to scale my business and my practice, I'm trying to have an AI agent help me with that. So I'm excited to see what I can learn today.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's a great response too. And even though your industry is very regulated, by you coming in and learning how you can use AI to help with client interactions, you're actually putting yourself way above the curve of your counterparts. Because when they start to open up those floodgates and say, all right, y'all figure out where you can put AI for financial services, period. You'd be like, oh, little did you know. I got a bag of goodies for you right here, and you just let it all out. So wonderful.
A little bit.
Anybody?
Just a little bit.
We're here, 7:05. So I'll go ahead and give a quick introduction, but then I'll leave some space for you, David, to say anything else that you may want to say, and then we'll go ahead and get started. So everybody, thank you for coming to today's workshop. Again, this is one of multiple series for In the Ecosystem with Mike. Just to tell you a little bit about the show, and you could check me out on Instagram at In the Ecosystem with Mike. The show is really geared towards helping founders, entrepreneurs get to the next level in their business by me mining my network and speaking with venture capitalists, angel investors, economic developers, and other successful entrepreneurs who have done it, who are tried and true to this, and they continue to do it. So outside of just having a show component, I wanted to be a bit more practical because I am pragmatic. So I wanted to have more hands-on type of learning, training for founders, and they could get information, skills that they can implement into their business, as well as connect with other founders in the industry. So it doesn't matter what industry that you are in, just as long as you have a business, a willingness to learn, a passion to never give up no matter what. But don't remember to pivot. If you got to pivot, that's fine. That's always good for entrepreneurship. But as long as you keep on going. So like I said, and David West, he and we met through a mutual friend, learned a little bit more about what he was doing with AI. I was very impressed by it. We actually had a live session as well, or a live audience episode with him. And David, don't think that was your last one, okay? You will be having more episodes in which Bobby will also be filming. That is my friend and videographer as well. So yeah, we could all see each other in person moving forward. But I was very impressed with what David was doing, how he applied AI, how he even thinks about AI. Because I think that one of our biggest strengths when it comes to AI right now, or any technology, is how you think about it, how you approach it, how you think about implementing it within your business or the businesses in which you work. And I'm pretty sure that David will attest to that. But I'll stop here and I'll let him carry on his introduction to say anything else that he would like to say, and then he'll take us into the presentation.
Cool. Yeah, I appreciate that. And yeah, all I got to say is I'm here. My goal is to demystify AI agents. I want everybody to walk away today understanding how to deploy your own agent and become a more productive human being. That is my goal. So that is all. I got a slide that I can show, and I just have to figure out how to share my screen, and we'll be good to go. 1 second. If I can figure that out.
Yeah, let me know if you need sharing rights. I'm pretty sure it should. Okay, awesome.
Good.
Let me guess, AI.
All right, I'm gonna just have to do it like this because I can't get it to do full screen. Can everybody read this? We're all good.
I'm good on my side.
1 second. Oops. All right, I'll just go from here. So yeah, like I said, what I'm trying to do here today is just teach you how to build an agent. It's really not rocket science, but it's extremely powerful if you can just follow a couple instructions. So I'll explain what an agent is, and then also just demystify like the language behind it, because I feel like with technology, what keeps people from learning it usually is just not understanding the words being used. So if you don't understand the terminology, then your brain don't follow. So I'm gonna talk about that, and then I'll have a couple demonstrations to so you can watch agents live and learn how that works. So to begin, what is an agent? So the AI that most people know, that's going to be ChatGPT, Claude. That's the brain. That's the brain of an agent. Then you have your computer. So that's going to be websites, apps, files. That's the hands. So what an agent is the brain using LLMs, and then the computer, and now it can move. So AI does the task instead of just describing it for you. Now, when it comes to a computer, you got to break down what is a computer. Typically, what you're doing not typically, all you're doing on a computer is scrolling, clicking, and typing. Everything you do on a computer is a different combination of scrolling, clicking, and typing. So if an agent can scroll, click, and type, then it can essentially do majority of what you do. So the way you become an agentic engineer, the way you make agents work, is you're basically just writing down the steps. And the better you can articulate what you do to get to that end goal, the better your agent will be. So in order to do that, you're going to pick a task. Oops, let me click on it. You're going to pick a task, something that you already do on your computer. Then you're going to list each step in between and how that looks. So like where are you going? What are you clicking on? What is your mentality behind that? And then make sure it has access. So you're going to open up websites. You're going to open up apps. You're going to open up folders. Whatever you're doing when that happens, you got to describe that. Then you let it run, you review, you check out the results, you rinse and repeat. It's not always going to be perfect, but that's how you start to break down the process. And also, I'll say, if anybody has a question at any point in time, please interrupt me. That doesn't bother me. But if not, I'll just continue to go. But yeah, continuing on, we're going to talk about what everything is. So in order to really work with an agent, I feel like you should know what and how it works, like what's under the hood. So under the hood is an LLM. And an LLM is just a prediction machine. So that is ChatGPT or Claude or Grok or Gemini. Any of that is an LLM. And what an LLM has done is it's trained off the internet. And then basically it's just a very complicated math equation that you don't need to know, but it predicts the next word using math. So the clearer your words, the better the prediction is going to be. So like, for example, the busiest airport in the world is Atlanta. So it's going to know what the next thing is based off what you're saying. The better the LLM, the better it is. But that's all you need to know as far as how it works as far as LLMs go. Now, I hit on this a little bit earlier. So the difference between a chatbot and an agent. So when you're using a chatbot, you are asking it a question, it is answering it. It's like a better Google, basically. It just hands you words. And then you take those words and you go do a task as a human being. What the agent is doing is, instead of just giving you words, you're delegating this task and then it acts for you. So it uses your computer and then it will return a task once you're done. Now, before I continue with that, I said I was going to demystify specific words, because sometimes you speak this language and forget that not everybody knows each word that you're using. So these are kind of the main words I feel like you should know in order to leverage AI properly. So we talked about LLM, that's a large language model. So whenever you hear LLM, just think brain. Then we got token. So you probably heard this a lot. They'll be like, this newest model just got trained on 1 billion tokens, or this task took this many tokens. A token is essentially a set of words. It's like 3 to 4 words. So like it reads in chunks. So instead of like humans, we read just one word at a time. Really, if you're a fast reader, you don't even read one word at a time. You're kind of like scanning the page. That's how an AI reads. So to just contextualize that, I believe 1 million tokens is about the size of the Bible. It's like 800,000 to 1 million tokens. So if you hear someone say like this was trained off of 1 million tokens, you can understand that that's about as much information as in the Bible, and then it go from there. But next we got prompt. So prompting, that's just instructions that you're going to give. Clear the prompt, the better the agent will work. Next is context window. So context window is basically the memory of the agent. So you can think of like the old ChatGPT before they got memory. Every time you opened up ChatGPT, it was just a blank AI that didn't really know anything about you. And newer agents, the better you work with it, the more it knows about you. So it'll have a bigger context window. And the bigger the context window, it's like instead of going to a fresh chat, you're going to pull up, it's already going to know who you are, your background, what your goals are, and it will provide better answers because it already knows you versus just a blank chat. And when you're working with agents, the way it's built in the background, you can make the context window very efficient. So it's kind of like building an assistant or an employee like you'll hear for what an agent does. That's how that works. It has really good memory. Now, moving from there, we have models and versions. So new models and new versions are consistently being dropped. And you should just know about that. And usually the newer it is, the smarter it is. So for example, Claude just dropped the newest Mythos version. I forgot what they're calling it. It's not Mythos, but it's basically the strongest version of AI. What does it say again?
The Fable.
Fable. Yeah, they're calling it Fable. It was Mythos. Mythos was so powerful that they didn't drop it because they felt like it would like hack the world. Like it had a lot of cybersecurity issues, so they held it back, and they just dropped the safe version of Mythos called Fable. And that's just kind of the way this works. Like, I'm going to show an example today using Codex. So like 2 days ago, I would have told you Codex is the best developer agent. Now I would say Claude is because the new model dropped. But then next week or 2 weeks from now, Codex might drop one, and then that might be better. And that's kind of the game of AI right now, which is why I suggest you either pick one or just continuously use both for different things. I use both because that's just what I prefer to do. But I think, in my opinion, you could stick to Claude or ChatGPT, whatever your preference is. But if you want to be really good, use both. But that's how I'd go about that. Now, hype versus reality. If you have no prior experience with agents and you just go off social media, you'll probably think that agents are just these amazing, fully autonomous workers working 24/7 and they're perfect and they do everything for you. And that's not the reality. I think the most efficient way to use agents is to delegate busy work to it. And you as a human being still stay at checkpoint. So you get it to automate a lot of stuff, but you're still delegating tasks or maybe giving a yes or no, still putting your taste into it, not just letting it run crazy and free. That's not realistic. And that's just not the best way to use agents. And honestly, you shouldn't even start to automate the processes so like it works on a daily basis until you can confirm that that is what you want and that you can do that on your own as well. So the reality is agents take away your busy work. You stay the checkpoint as a human being, and your taste and your ability to work with it will be the difference here versus just thinking that you're going to tell it to do something. It's just going to forever do that for you. That's typically not realistic, at least not right now. So. And now we got 3 ways that the agents will run. So you can trigger it. So you set up your agents and then you just press go. It runs once, you get your results, you go about your day. Then you got schedules. So you can put on a clock. So you could do something like every morning at 8 a.m., search Twitter for the top tweets on this subject and give me a report back. And now every day when you wake up at 8 a.m., you'll get a little report that it ran. That's a scheduled one. And then autonomous is very, very rare, is getting into these type of talks, but getting to the points where everything is just ran on its own. You give an agent a task, it does its thing. Another agent is able to understand that and reiterate. It's rare, and I would not suggest it, but one day this might be a thing. So we got to wait on that one. But if you just go based off social media, that's all you will think is an agent. But this is the reality of it. Now, where to run your agents? If you have no prior technical experience, I would suggest go to Claude Cowork. They make it very easy for you. They got buttons and gadgets, and it lets you do what you want to do. But just understand that Claude Cowork is just basically Claude code with training wheels on it. So I personally don't use Claude Cowork. I really never have. Before this call, I tried to play with it a little bit just so I'm familiar. It's just an easy version of Claude Code. You can do more of Claude Code if you get to that point. But if you've never done it, I would start on Claude Cowork so you understand what it does and how that works, and then graduate to Claude Code. And then Codex is just the ChatGPT version of Claude Code that I also like. And also, don't be intimidated by the name Claude Code or Codex. I actually think that was one of their worst decisions as a brand, to name it Claude Code or Codex, because people hear code and run, when in reality, you don't need to know how to code. They're very good coders, but they do far more than just code. They take full control of your computer and work. So yeah, don't be afraid of the term code. Now, prompting. I'm sure a lot of people have heard about prompting and prompt engineering. Last year, really your AI results was based off of how well that you could articulate your thoughts. But today, it's more about telling AI your outcome, explaining that as well as you can, and then tell AI to give you a prompt. And now you take that prompt and now you run it, instead of thinking that you can just make the best prompts on your own. So that is how you get the best prompts with prompting these. Next, I'll be demoing. Before I demo, any questions? Did everything I just say register or anything foggy? Silence is compliance. So if I hear nothing, I will assume everybody understands what I said.
All good on my side.
The show, thumbs up, amazing. All right, so we're gonna demo some agents so you can see how this actually works. And the first demo I'm gonna do is a browser agent demo. So one of the cool things about agents is that they're literally taking control of your computer. They can run on the web, they can search, they can do what they want to do. So for this, I set up a little demo on the side with the prompt already ready to have an agent to take over a browser. It's going to walk through a website. And it's going to come back with a usable report. So what we're going to do is we're going to create an agent that can browse a Google Maps sheet and find us the top 5 med spas. Or med spas. Yeah, let me see. I got my prompt over here. Med spas, and then they're going to give us back the top 5 results. They're going to tell us which ones we should reach out to and why, and then give us all the information. So like the website, their number, anything we need to know. We're just going to make an agent do that, so then we can get the results back.
David, before
Yes.
you move on, I would like for you to provide a bit more context as to why you chose this as a use case.
Because when I first started using agents, I thought like something that I guess like impressed me was like the fact that it literally just takes control of your browser and can scroll. And when you get the mind to vision and you can see it, you can start to think about different use cases you could use on your own. This is just, all these examples are meant to spark your curiosity and be like, oh, I can do that, so I can probably do this and X, Y, Z. So I think being able to see going through Google Map sheets and like businesses and running your stuff, you should understand like ways that you could use this for yourself. So
specifically the looking at the various shops and then getting their information. And I thought of it like maybe you build an agent that reaches out to these companies and says, hey, I can redo your website, I can do marketing for you or whatever it may be, and then have the agent do that. Is that the thought around this specific use case?
You can get to that point, but I like to always show that you should start step by step. Like, for example, Mr. Bobby Jones, who's here with us, he's an example of someone who is trying to use agents. And he specifically told me, I don't personally like talking to AI. I know when I'm talking to AI and I don't like that. I always want to be the human that reaches out to my clients, but I would like agents to be able to do my busy work and alert me when it's time to talk to people. So if you're that type of person, maybe you want to do this, but you can get to the point where we find this information, and yeah, I know what type of messages I want to send to these people, so then the agents can send those messages off. There's just levels to it. Cool. All right, so how we're gonna do this is I got Chrome open and I have Claude Code over here, and I got a prompt that I'm gonna send Claude Code. So my prompt for Claude Code is to open Google Maps and search for med spas in Atlanta. Click into the top 5 results one at a time. Each one, I want you to grab the name, the star rating, the number of reviews, the phone number, and the website, and then come back and give me a table ranking who I should reach out to first and why. And then tell me what you're doing each step while you work. So I'm gonna go ahead and run that, and it will take control of the browser and work and do its thing. Now this will probably take like 2 minutes. So this will be a good time to speak if there's anything that needs to be said. Otherwise, we will watch this. I could play some music. I don't know. But as you see,
I'm a talker.
For sure. Well, as you see, it just open it up and just know my hands is here. So I'm not doing nothing. I'll sit back and it'll talk on the right. You'll see what's going on. It's gonna look. And just know as it's doing this, it's like taking screenshots mentally and it's storing everything and it's gonna come back and give you that information. So we'll let that go.
This is pretty cool because every time I think about industries, underserved industries, or let's say business owners who are more hands-on with their work, like somebody in a skilled trade, HVAC, plumbing, welding, whatever, they don't really have much time to learn this agentic work. But then folks like us who are interested in it, we can then learn this agentic work, boom, do the reach out like what you're having the agent do right now, and say, hey guy, your website looks like it hasn't been updated since 2005.
Exactly.
Let me give you just a mock-up of how it'll look, and then you can contract with me on a monthly basis, $1,000, something like that, and I'll make sure that it's up to date. And if you want to upgrade the package, then I can help you work on your social media and so on. And the agent will take care of all of that.
Exactly. And this is a hustle. Like this is something I would do 2-3 years ago, trying to sell websites, because I was making websites and trying to sell them. I would go to Google Maps and I would individually look at each one and see which ones are people that are worth reaching out to. And that could be hours of work. And now you're seeing, you can just get an agent to do that and sip your coffee or tea or take a walk and come back and get it back. Like this is why I think it's important, because you can become more human. I'm not just sitting here crunching and looking. I'm telling it what to do, and then I can go do my thing. I can go paint a painting. I don't know. I can do anything that is on my mind instead of just being a robot and looking at each little thing. Like we don't have to do that anymore. It expands your mind more. So that's why I think it's important to know this stuff. But yeah, it's definitely that busy work is where the gold is to me. Any busy work is like the perfect stuff for agents. And then that allows you to just be more human, more creative, think about other things. So as you see, it's doing all this right now.
That's so cool. I just have millions of ideas that I would just want to deploy. And I really think that AI, especially agentic AI, really helps to empower the ideators, but who aren't so technically savvy. I was like, oh, I have all these ideas and I can actually do something with it rather than take years or have to spend tens of thousands of dollars to make it be real. Now I can just buy tokens.
Exactly. It's really just giving power to the average person that the rich and powerful have always had, but now you can do it on your own. So that's kind of how I look at it. So should be done a little bit. We probably got like 1 more minute, and then they'll give us back a spreadsheet that we could use. But gonna let it finish doing this thing. Yep, there we go.
Oh yeah, that's nice, man.
So as you see, we get in here. Let me see if I just make this bigger for people. So you see, we're getting the top 5 med spas that it found, its rating, how many reviews it has, the phone number, the website. And then it also gives us the outreach priority and why. So as we're seeing this blue med spa center, it has a lot of reviews, meaning it has volume and real money, but they already see 2 gaps. So there's no online button or no online button on the Maps profile. and they're split across two domains. So they notice that there's two domains going on. So this is the type of stuff that you could email them and then fix what they're doing. Like, yo, we noticed this stuff is going on. I can help you with that. So instead of having to do that on your own, this is where you're getting that. And they're doing that for each outreach opportunity. And you can think you could just expand on this in so many different use cases or numbers of it. But yeah, that would be the first demo of today. I got 3 more.
Nice.
All right, let's keep going. Next demo, the file janitor. Personally, this was the very first thing I did when I started playing with agents, because I wanted to see the whole take over your computer power thing. So me, I'm a very chaotic thinker. I'm a little cluttered. My computer was crazy. I had stuff everywhere. There was zero organization whatsoever. So I had my agent look through my computer and try to sort everything out for me so I could get some structure in my life on my computer. So I figured it would be good to show other people how to do this. So I'm going to point an agent at a messy folder that I have made just for this use case, and then we're going to organize that. So if I come back from here, I think I got it in here somewhere. No. Hold up. Where's my messy folder?
I think that the messy computer probably was a lot of people's use cases when they first started to figure out how to use the agentic AI. My computer can definitely
for sure. I would say that helped me a ton, and I did it for pictures and stuff too. Like, this was just a really good way for me to start organizing my life without me having to do it. So yeah, so let's do another prompt. I'm going to open up another chat for this. And then we're going to organize this messy file. So I got this messy folder, just made it up for demonstration purposes. See, we got PFD files, raw files, MP4s, JPEGs. We got all types of stuff, PowerPoints, texts, everything in here is crazy. So I got a prompt for this, and I'll show you. I'm going to put it in here. So here's the prompt. Look inside this folder. I have that direction to the folder, and we're going to say it's a disaster. Random names, screenshots, invoices, notes, downloads, all dumped together. So I want you to read every file, figure out what each one actually is, then show me your organization plan. So what folders you'll create and what each name or what each file gets renamed to. And then I got it, so don't touch anything. 'Cause I know a lot of people get scared. They're like, I don't want AI taking control of my documents. It could delete it. It could move stuff. It could hack my computer and take all my money, the craziness that people talk about. So I said, don't touch anything until I approve. Once I say go, then execute the folder, and we can go from there. So I'm gonna run that, and then it will do its thing. This one shouldn't take as long as the last one. This should probably take like a minute or two. I said that last time, but this time it should actually take a minute or two. But yeah, that's this one. I was gonna say is reading through the folder, and it will decipher what these are. He said reading every text file to see what exactly in this.
So I see those tokens adding up. Just curious to know, what is your average spend per month on tokens?
I just do the full plan. So on Claude and ChatGPT, well, Claude they're going back and forth with it, but if you just get a full monthly plan, so there's $20 a month, $100 a month, and $200 a month. I personally am on the $100 a month plan because the $20 a month one, I'd get halted a lot. I'd be like, you've done too much today. So I just went ahead and did the $100 plan. But if we're talking about compute, if you're going straight off the plan like this, $100 a month worth of tokens is really like $10,000 worth of tokens if you were to go the API route. So if we're going by API route, probably thousands of dollars worth of tokens a month, but I do the monthly subscription. So I just pay $100 a month for Claude, and I actually only pay $20 a month for ChatGPT because I don't use it as much. So I just stick with 21. But yeah. But as you see, it went through this. It found 36 files, all the PDF zips, like we said, and it organized it. So it found invoices, it found receipts, it found business docs, And it's also talking about new names. So as you see, it's telling you what the current name is and what it would recommend to name it. So it's going to rename all of these for you, telling you what it is based on the information. You get your notes, photos, and videos, screenshots, and reviews. So there's 8 folders it wants to make out of all this mess. And it's basically saying, say go, and I'll execute this. So I'm gonna just go ahead and say go. And
Question.
Sure.
One, would you define 2 more words for me? API and Finder.
Finder. So API is, you can think of that is, that's how different software speak to each other. So you'll hear things like MCPs or APIs. Those are both different ways that a software, so that's like how Google would speak to Zapier or anything like that. It's just code language for a wire connecting 2 different platforms or softwares. I think that would be a simple way to think about it. And you said Finder?
Yeah, like us being able to watch it land in Finder. What is Finder?
Oh, API. Are we talking about API keys? Is that what we're talking about?
When you were talking about how much you were paying for subscription, and you were saying about a certain amount of tokens would be about $10,000 worth of whatever the API route.
Right.
I was trying to figure out what that meant.
Okay. So in that sense, so it's basically, like I said, is software speaking to each other. So for this, API keys it's taking the power of Claude or Codex and it's outsourcing it to another place. So if you take the API route, that would be like you're taking Claude's information and you want it to speak to some other application that has nothing to do with Claude. But since Claude wants to provide its value to this separate application, it's going to charge you a little more to get its information to this application versus you just doing it in Claude. So it's going to have a different price for that. So like, for example, OpenClaw, y'all probably maybe heard it. It was pretty popular. It's a way that you can orchestrate a lot of agents. And within OpenClaw, the power of it is that you could have all types of agents from all different types of AI providers. So I could have one bot that had Claude in it. It had GPT, it had Grok, it had Gemini. But since it's not coming directly from the source, I had to pay for API keys in order for it to work. And it's more expensive that way. So like I'd literally do some tasks for 2-3 hours and I'd look at my dashboard of spending on API keys and it could be $20-$30 from a day's worth of work versus doing it strictly from the source. So hopefully that helps. Did that explain it?
That makes sense. Rather than paying like the $20 or $30 a day for that work, you've minimized it to the $100 subscription that gives you about the same amount of tokens.
Far more, not the same.
Far more. Okay.
Insane amount more. Yeah, like the work I do strictly from API keys would easily run me thousands of dollars a month, tens of thousands of dollars a month, probably. Nice. Yeah, and I get it for $100. So it's a steal to me.
Yeah, and just a little bit more about API. I put the definition of it in the chat for everybody. Application program interface, and it just works as a middleman between 2 applications.
Right. Yeah, and as you see, as we were speaking and having a wonderful conversation, it organized everything for us. We didn't have to do that busy work, and now we have invoices, receipts, business docs, notes, photos, videos, screenshots, and review. And now we have an organized.
I'm sorry. I was thinking the invoices and business docs, man. I bet your CPA would appreciate that once they see everything's been organized. They just got to look at, receipts, boom, we're good.
So we're starting to see the power of these agents and the agentic game. So next, Next, I want to talk about a throwaway app. I think this is a skill set that will become more popular and more demanded and needed in the workforce. And that is the ability to spin up a quick app for a use case that you have. So now with coding, we no longer need to know how to code. Coding used to be basically learning a brand new language. You had to learn a brand new language and all these different connector tools and whatnot. It was like a big old complicated puzzle that you had to know to even start. Now the best coders in the world don't even code. They use agents. So that's kind of a thing of the past. But what made a developer a great developer was never really the coding aspect. It was more the mental frame of knowing what should even be an application. So you have to think, you can think as a developer now without needing to speak the language. It's kind of like learning a language, like actually like learning like Spanish or Brazilian or I said Brazilian, Portuguese, or something like that. But now you don't have to actually go learn the language. You could go, like, imagine you could just speak it. Like now, instead of having to go actually learn it, it's more about having the mindset that I'm going to travel and I'm going to talk to this person and I'm going to put myself out there to speak to anybody. So you could think, if you could just speak any language in the world, what would you do with that? You would go talk to more people, you would travel more, you would have more conversations. So now you could think of yourself like, I can code. All I gotta do is articulate what I want. What app do I want to build? So for this, I just did like a simple app. So I thought about a reminder app. So like, let's say that this was a very interactive workshop and I was promising people things like, oh, I'm gonna get you a PDF, we're gonna hop on a meeting call in 25 minutes, I'm going to send you a Zoom link, and I just like made all these promises during this call. If I wanted to make sure I did that, I could make an app, this little interactive app that will make sure that I remember what I need to. So let me show that. For this, I'm going to use Codex, because before 2 days ago, I would say that if I needed to develop something, I would go to Codex, because I think they're a little better developer than Claude Code sometimes. I think Claude Code is a better brain right now, but as far as the actually coding process, it feels like Codex is better. So let me get Codex over here. And then we're going to build an app. So Codex, remember, this is basically just Claude Code, but from ChatGPT world. So we're going to copy this, and we're going to build that app. So my prompt for this is I just ran a live workshop and made promises to a bunch of attendees, PDF, intro call, like I said, just named it out there. And I said, I want to add the person's name, anything that is due. It can mark these items done, or it can mark these items done and then remove them. And it remembers my list when I close and reopen the browser. So I just gave it some rules as far as what I want the app to do. And then I just have some random people that I put in here. So like Marcus in this workshop, Tina, and I want to build this out. So it's going to build out an app, and then it's going to allow me to work with it. And I could use this, I could send this to someone. And I think this is a really simple example. Like obviously you could do much more than this. I think I just wanted to show that you can code and it'll actually make an app for you. But I really want to hone on the thought process of, now it's just more about having the mental mind to think of things like, oh, that should be an app, or, oh, I could just package these things into an application, I could run it. It's kind of going to be like as common as spinning up Excel sheets, I feel like, in the future. Like you got this information, you got to put it into Excel so you can send it to your boss. Now your boss might ask you for something and you're going to spin up an app for him so he can do the work he needs to or see what he needs to. So it's cleaner or more efficient. That's kind of how I look at this. So
I love that you touched on the thought process, because that's what I think about with everything. Again, every industry that AI is getting into, it first needs a brain, and that brain is a human brain, and how it can learn more about how it can interact, interpret data, operation systems, and then that person refines it. Like at the beginning of this conversation, we were discussing how, yeah, AI may remove roles, but those people like Sashanish will be ahead of the curve when it comes to the floodgates of AI being opened up in their industry, because now they already have the hands-on practical experience. They have the knowledge and expertise from working in that industry for so long. Mm-hmm. And now, I mean, it's like that world or that industry is yours, and you could actually outperform those who have been paying you.
Exactly. And that's like the high paying skills now. Like everybody's going to be asking for people who can run agents, and people are like, oh, that's so hard. You see, it's just English. It's just who can
right. It's just English.
And put it to the right apps. Like that's all this is. Like, and here you go. Like you see now I have an actual app. Like I could, in theory, add this to a website, and I could just send my boss this link. And then he would open up, oh, damn, I have a whole app that I could use. And I can add people's names. I can say, what did I promise? And I can add it to the follow-up. And then I can see what's important. I'll click this app. It's going to go away. Oh, I got a call to set up. It's go away. And I can just check this off. And obviously, this is very simple, but just the mentality of that. You can make an app and you could attach it to a browser. You can make it something. You can send a link to someone. Now they're working. Now you look like a genius. Now like, oh, man, he just spun up an app in 30 minutes, an hour, like, oh, I gotta hire him. They don't even know that it was this easy just because people don't take the time to figure this out. But it's really not rocket science. But
you just made everybody like at least 500K more if they start implementing this and figuring out what problems they can solve.
Yeah,
so
let me hold $1 if y'all do that. That's all I ask.
Yeah,
Shout me out.
So I want to talk about Lovable. And before you go a little bit more into what you just built here, but remember when Lovable came out, it was, oh man, you got to use Lovable. I just made so-and-so using Lovable. And then there was like, I think it was Bolt On or something like that, or Bolt.
Yeah, there's a few of them. They're still around.
Yeah, and they are still around and people are still using them. But you got Claude, you got OpenAI, and, you know, ChatGPT, all these things that are, in my eyes, and I could be wrong, you tell me, that it really makes those other ones a bit obsolete because they're doing the same thing. It's kind of like you're just choosing your brand of where you're going to buy your burger. You got McDonald's, Burger King, and so on. But where you want to eat?
I'm about to say, in a sense, you got to think like Lovable and all them, Bolt and all that, they came out early 2025 when vibe coding just became a thing. Like Claude and ChatGPT, they didn't have Claude Code and Codex. They weren't doing this. So they were like the first people to put it out. And honestly, like I was on the way back then. Like I was trying it too. It was nowhere close to what it is right now. Like this stuff really got good, like impressively good. I would say December 25, January 2026. So like anything prior to that, anybody that tried to vibe code, they don't know what vibe coding is. And it changed. So now apps like Lovable in them, the way they stay in business is they have the model set up. So like if you spin up your app in their model, they make it really easy to click and turn it into like an actual website. Or let's say you make an app that could make a lot of money. They wrap it around stuff and make all the legal things, the back end processes. They give you all of that versus it just being like a static web page. So they monetize on that end to make it easy to turn your idea into an actual working payable app versus just like a tool you're using in your browser. And you could do that on your own, but they just make it a little easier. That's how they get their money. So yeah,
that's a good distinction because that also provides our audience here with options. Like, hey, you can go to Lovable, kind of already gives you some back end to it, and then you just deploy, or you can build on Claude or build on Codex and go ahead and figure it out a little bit more on your own. But in my eyes, both are extremely customizable.
For sure.
So floor is back to you. I just want to put that on there.
Cool. Yeah, and I just got one more, and this one is actually tailored to someone on the chat right now. My friend, Mr. Bobby Jones. He called me the other day and told me his idea for what he would want to be an agent. And I told you, he said he wanted, the way Bobby gets his work is he'll look for ads that are calling for the type of work he does, so videography and anything like that. He manually goes and searches these and he'll respond to it. But that's why he said he wanted an agent that could alert him when there's an ad that he would want, so he can respond to it, because he's like, I don't want my agent to reach out to these people. I want to reach out to these people. And he said that currently they have an alert feature, but the alerts are delayed too much. He says it takes like 45 minutes to an hour to get to him. So maybe in that time, someone else might have reached out. So I want to show how you could, in theory, obviously I'm doing a light version of it. Bobby would be better at this because he could really explain what he wants to see and what he wants to look for and provide login credentials to get to different types of sites. But I found one that works, and we're going to show what it looks like to make an agent go search for these ads and then reply back. And in theory, when you get a reply, you could set that up to like a Telegram or a WhatsApp, and it could be texting you to give you that information that you need. So I got a prompt, and let me go ahead and put that in here. So I'm going to go back to Claude for this. Right. Let me get out of here. So I will put in a new prompt.
So as you're doing that, I just want to say how cool that is and how practical that is. Because if we talk about the entrepreneurial mindset, it's always about finding a big enough problem with a niche enough solution, and then you get a new industry or innovation on the industry. And you can find yourself walking away with upwards to becoming a decamillionaire upon selling that company or IPO, whatever it may be. Yeah, easier said than done, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But anyways, I love how Bobby said, yeah, I do this manually. If you can help me find it, I mean, and that'd be great, because when you said that, I thought about, if I wanted to do more voice acting, I could literally use the same thing and have it scan websites for voice acting, or models. If you find model calls or whatnot, it can scan Instagram or wherever models get their shoots from and stuff. So very cool practical application. Shout out to Bobby and you.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, David, I do appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. I told you I got you. But yeah. This is the prompt that I'm going with. So I said, go to productionhub.com. This is one of the sites that he showed me that he uses to find these ads. So go to productionhub.com/crew and vendor leads. My client is a videographer and a podcast producer in Atlanta. Go through the newest leads and find anything involving podcast recording, video production, camera operating, or directing photography that is in Georgia or worth traveling for. For each match, write an exact alert text that you'd send to his phone, what the gig is, where and when it was posted, and why it fits him, and the link. And then he makes the call and he does the talking, and I just want you to spot these leads. So I'm gonna have it do its thing, and we can watch it start to spin up. And this will probably take longer than everything else, so we could have some time to speak as it does its thing.
Yeah, anybody have any questions, any considerations, or even just pop-up ideas like, I may want to use agentic AI for that. David, what do you think about that? Right now is the time to just take off the muzzle and say whatever questions you may have. Let your curiosity be free.
Could be nothing.
Actually, I had a question. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
My name is Michaela.
Hello, Michaela.
Sorry, I'm not on camera today. I'm actually heading back from work. But no, all of this has been really great information. I was wondering though, just would we have a way to maybe like come back to this and reference it? Like, I didn't know if this was being recorded or like, like maybe, I don't know, being able to kind of review, because I want to be able to go through some of the exercises that you were just showing us and just the different ways to do it. But yeah, I was just wondering if we had a way to reference this again. If we didn't take the proper notes that we should take.
Yeah, for sure. This is being recorded and will be posted. So yeah, this will be able to be rewatched after this.
Okay, excellent.
I'll put it up on the show. I'll put it up on the show YouTube.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah, so that way folks can go back, and then I'll even put David's his Instagram will be there anyway, so you can reach out to him there. But if you'd like to connect with him after this,
yeah,
I'd say just David, put your email in the chat,
sure,
anything like that. But also we do have the Discord server or the Access Network, so I can put that in there as well.
Okay, excellent.
Find that Discord.
I'll put my email and my website in the chat, so you can check that out. All right. And it's still going, as you see. It's going through all these pages as we were speaking. Bobby, does this look like what you would do? Because I've never been on this website. I'm curious.
Yeah, that actually looks like the same thing I do. I just go scroll through it.
Amazing.
And I put in anything for filming or video. That's usually the two prompts that I have in there.
Got you. So yeah, so for your use case, you could really sit down and like do a lot better and probably get even more tailored responses for what you're looking for. But looks like
Yeah,
we
you
got
just fine tune it.
yeah, looks like we got some responses. Oops.
Oh, Bobby, you got to make $10,000
That's right.
on a house.
You see, it found a new lead, customer testimonial, Atlanta, Georgia, 3-minute testimonial, 1 to 2 person crew. You bring a full kit, rate $800 to $1,500 a day, product budget $4 to $5K. It was posted 6/6 on Production Hub. This is your exact lane. So this was a little later. Like you see this was posted today, 6/10. And that's why I say sometimes it's not going to be perfect right away. This is saying 6/5. I know you wanted ones that are right away, and that would be something you would have to put in a prompt. Like for example, I would say, do not look at anything that was posted prior than today. We didn't put that in this prompt. So that would be something that you could put in a prompt to avoid getting results from a couple days ago. But yeah, so as you see, this is the type of text you would get though, like new lead, product feature video. It's gonna give you the prompt in the link, and then you can go there and you can text and you can get to them. And to get this to be a text, it's another process, but like literally you could ask Claude, like, okay, now how do I set this up for Telegram? How do I set this up for WhatsApp? What do I need to do for that? And it can walk you through that process. Like people think that I always know everything I'm doing, and I don't. I'm just curious as hell. So like if I don't know it, I'm gonna figure it out. And now it's never been easier to figure things out. I'll just ask, and then I'll trial and error, go back and forth, and I'll find what I need. So that
leads me to my next question. Are there any applications or websites that these prompts don't work the best with?
Yes, for sure. So some you'll get, there are definitely sites that will like block against agents. So you have to try it and see if it'll work. Sometimes there'll be sites that require you to log in. So maybe you'll need to just provide your login or username and login or already log in for it. But there's definitely certain things that you can't do, but certain things that you can do. Like, so, and there's ways around it too. Like I have a friend who recently just sent out like 800 Instagram messages using Claude Code. And the way he did it was he logged into Instagram on Google or on the browser with this thing. And then he told the Claude to take control of the browser and start to DM the specific people that he had a list for. But he got like a warning because it was sending messages too fast. So he had to make it human. He had to be like, okay, only send messages every 3 to 5 minutes or something, or on a certain route. And certain websites are becoming more privy to it. So I won't just sit here and say that you can do this on any website, but a lot of websites you can do it on. But yeah, you will run into some issues sometimes.
That's actually a great segue into what are some of the ethical considerations around AI and agentic AI?
The ethical considerations?
Yeah, because we lightly touched on this in the live audience episode we had. What are some of the ethical considerations around all this power?
Like ethical in what way? Like I think most people think about like data centers when they hear about ethical, like, oh, my water is brown because you use the ChatGPT prompt. Like, is that what you mean?
You can start there, but it's more so like, okay, I have this agent, it's able to scrape a lot of data across websites and whatnot. What are some ways that people can say like, okay, I'm not going to use this type of power for that type of use case? Like moral, ethics, the ethical dilemmas.
I would say the ethics of your agent fully depends on the ethics of yourself. So if you are an unethical person, you will use AI unethically. If you are an ethical person, then you will find a way to use AI ethically. That would be my answer to that.
Like martial arts.
Yes, or giving everybody guns. Like, I don't know what they're gonna do with them, but I'm the type, I'm gonna learn how to shoot. I don't know, but yeah, that's what this is. Yeah.
I have a question.
Sure.
Okay. You said that my name is Glenna, by the way. You said hello. You said that you use multiples. So you use Claude and you use ChatGPT, or do you use any others? What do you think about Gemini as well?
I liked Gemini. I don't use it as much anymore. I used it a lot in 2025. Gemini is by Google, and I used to use them for searching because I felt like it was trained off of Google. So I felt like it would be the best searcher. Nowadays, I think the playing field has leveled to the point where I don't think Gemini is that much better for searching. And also Gemini used to have Nano Banana, and it still does, which is a image generation AI, and it used to be the best one. Now ChatGPT image competes with it too. So now it's almost like you don't need it, in my opinion, but it's like a preference. But I wouldn't sleep on Google AI because I feel like in theory they should have the best AI because they had so many years of Google, but I don't. They're going about AI differently than Claude and Codex, so they're kind of in their own other realm. But I've learned to use different AIs for different use cases. So Claude I use the most because I think it has the best brain. It has the best organization to me. And it gives me back the best response. I showed Codex for developing, although I said Claude is better now. But like, for example, on my phone, I use ChatGPT voice because I think ChatGPT voice is the best voice. Like Claude voice is trash. But if I want to talk and I want to like speak back and forth with an agent or make a voice note, I'll go to ChatGPT. There's Grok, Grok. That's like Twitter's version of ChatGPT. That's Elon's ChatGPT. I'll go to that when Claude or ChatGPT are getting too ethical on me. There's been times where I've tried to do things and Claude or ChatGPT are like, we won't do that because we think that is against the law or that's unethical or something, or you shouldn't do that. Like I remember my friend wanted me to edit a receipt or like a doctor's note. And I went to Claude to get a prompt to edit the doctor's note. And Claude was like, we shouldn't do that because XYZ. So I took it to Grok because Grok is ran by Elon. And if you don't like him or not, that doesn't matter. But the way he goes about things is he's like pro-truth. So his AI will pretty much do whatever you ask it to. So I go to Grok and Grok is like, yeah, I got you. And it will do unethical things for me. Okay. But yeah, I kind of decipher AIs based on what I'm trying to do. And I use AI so much that I know the personality types of everything based on what I want to do. But that's like, if you want to get to that level, I would say you could be just fine using just Claude or just ChatGPT, or even, I wouldn't suggest Gemini right now because it doesn't have Claude Code or Codex, but it's still decent.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
And another question to follow up on that, where do you find the most up-to-date updates and generations of these AI tools? How do you stay in the know of what's updated yesterday and then what's going to update tomorrow?
A lot of it is just from actually using it every day. And then I follow a ton of tech accounts like Instagram, Twitter. I think Twitter's a gold mine. Definitely Twitter. Like if you can, like I could send you my Twitter and like you could just look at the people I follow, honestly. But this is to kind of start that algorithm. But I think Twitter, the way my Twitter's set up, I just open it and it's like all the news I need about AI. And my Instagram algorithm also knows me well, so it tells me a lot. And there's a lot of YouTube videos that I watch. I watch a lot of podcasts, so I open up my YouTube algorithm. All my algorithms know what I want to see, to be honest with you. That's where I get my stuff, and I use it on a daily basis. So you got to train your algorithm or start to follow people who are talking about this stuff and start watching those videos.
Yeah, and for the Access Network, we'll be having more workshop series and programming around these topics and more, so it can help you with your business, your understanding. And David is a part of that, whether he wants to be or not. So it's already said, and Bobby's going to be there to muscle him if he says no. So
go.
Awesome.
Yeah, I gotta stop sharing. We at the end of this, so yeah, that would conclude learning how to build an agent. Hopefully that helped people.
Yeah. So everybody, thank David. Drop some emojis, comments, whatever. I have the link to the Discord for the Access Network in the chat, so you could go ahead and click that. That way you will be up to date on it. There will be channels where you can post funding opportunities that you may come across to share with other founders in the chat, as well as more workshop opportunities, internal, external, incubators, accelerators. It's really all designed to help people get to the next level. Not about me just trying to get views or subs for my YouTube channel and then you catch me on a yacht somewhere off in Costa Rica or whatever. Nah, It's about community. It's about helping each other. But yes, we will get there. Anyways, David, thank you for coming on board and helping to demystify as well as simplify this. I meet many people who don't use AI as much, but when I talk to them about it, they're like, I don't even know where to start. Well, this is a great starting point, and it's as simple as talking to somebody and saying, this is what I want. Like, it can't get much easier than that. And this person don't come back with an attitude or nothing.
Yeah. You know, they say delivery is everything, and I think that's so important with this as well. So delivery is more important than what you're trying to say. So yeah.
I think your biggest thing with AI right now is that it is integrated in every kind of work out here, no matter what you do. I use it on a daily basis in editing. So
for sure, it's the new electricity. Yeah, it'll be integrated everywhere.
Yeah.
So everybody, if you can, before you go, one, I'm going to put a link to a survey in the chat. Please fill it out for me. It'll take you no less than 2-3 minutes. And fill that out for me. Just giving your feedback, because my goal is to build this out more and more, figure out what's working for people, what's not working, also what you may want. If you would love for David to come back, let me know and bring some more people with you. That way we can compensate him as well. And David, if you have a Cash App, and if anybody is willing to, just a little donation or something.
I say that is not needed, but if you want to send me money, I will not reject it.
Straight up. So drop the Cash App in there. If anybody wants to go ahead and share, please make sure you fill out that survey. Join the Access Network. There will be more programming, more events coming. There's more community. Any last words from you, David, or any last questions from anybody else?
I got nothing. Yeah, be great. That's all I gotta say.
Straight up, no chasing. All right, everybody. Well, make sure you
David, appreciate you, man.
Yeah, no problem. My pleasure. My pleasure. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate everybody tuning in.
Thank you, Wes.
Awesome.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Take care.